Once the game starts, if I'm not ready here, you guys can start. Okay, I'm in now. Okay. Checking connection. Just got like the bar kind of like. Can you like you hear it though? You don't hear anything? Guys, test it.
Welcome to Robert E. Rich All-High Stadium. FC Buffalo is happy to thank its corporate partners, Rich Fox, Best Day, Day Without Day, Big Dish Brewing Company, Pallet Services Incorporated, Amherst Pizza and Alehouse.
Good evening, welcome inside All-High Stadium here. It's lovely. Hurt Mitchell Friday night here in downtown Buffalo. FC Buffalo's second home game as they host hashtag Hate Erie, hated rival, the Erie Commodores. I'm Jeff Boyd from the 716 Sports Broadcast, joined to my right today by welcome Eric.
Glad to be here, Jeff, and you described it perfectly. It is picture perfect, more than double the temperature of the last home game, so you can't be upset about anything like that.
Definitely not. These two teams, though, will find plenty of things to be upset about in each other. Both these teams have gone on the record here the last week saying they do not care much for their opponents. Article in the Buffalo News this week quoting a couple different FC Buffalo players who said that they in fact do hate Erie. A sentiment echoed throughout a lot of the fans here in the crowd here today. A very vocal and pretty full crowd here today on hand to enjoy this lovely, my phone says 77-degree evening, little overcast, lovely breeze going through the stadium.
Yeah, and as the sides line up, they definitely do not like each other. Hate Erie has grown far and wide over the Midwest region of the NPSL, and Erie has even adopted it as kind of a tongue-in-cheek cheer for themselves. So they enjoy this rivalry, and it's sure bet things are going to get heated right off the top.
So FC Buffalo in their old blue jerseys with gold-trimmed white shorts will be going from left to right of our broadcast position. Erie in away white with blue shorts. The ball here over the opening kick. We'll get the points from Erie as they come available to us. For FC Buffalo, it's Jeffson goal with Paredes, McPhee, Trout, Walter, McGrath, Donaldson, Matt, Person, Camacho, and Toland up front. Rounding up starting 11 for the home side. Referee takes the game underway. The drums and the chants already beginning over to our left in the avid supporters section that is constantly grown here throughout the 7 seasons that FC Buffalo has called this city home.
The Situation Room is definitely ready to be heard today, and I had heard tales that Erie brings a pretty big crowd, but I don't know if I see them that much tonight.
And not a lot of away fans on the other side of the field. We are underway. Opening kickoff from Erie gets knocked out of play with throw for FC Buffalo. It's a midfield contested, headed back into the Buffalo end, knocked away there by Trout.
We got our first call of the game already. Followed through on that tackle a little too hard, challenged the pending header from the Erie side, and they're going to get a free kick, a direct kick from about 25 yards out.
Yeah, a little bit of a dangerous position here to start off right off the bat here, just 30 seconds into our contest for the Commodores as they'll set up to take this kick. A couple of different players out there. That's Roach, who's one of them. Usually the one who drives it low. It gets blocked by the wall, rolls into the box, and will be seen safely out the back. Appeals by the situation room for a call on the back, and they will get it will be though a goal kick for Jeffs.
Yeah, you know, this looks like a very nice track, but I'm not sure I want to be tackled onto it, so I understand where they're coming from. Harmless nonetheless, if the goal kick is going to come to center field.
Here in this contest, we'll see a lot of appeals from both sides for whistles. Courtesy of Fisher and Justin Allen. These teams are going to go right at it. We've seen that here in the first minute. Wins the box by Erie knocked away. That's a good field. He's up to Buffalo. We'll try to get it. That's Camacho. He'll play it ahead. Here on the near side, right? Just played up ahead.
It's a nice switch field play. He's in all alone.
The goaltender.
And we've got our goal!
Right off the bat.
It was a great play from center field, a switch side, and they had him streaking down the right, and Beth all alone behind the defender, and just chipped it over the goaltender for FC Buffalo's first goal of the season. Things are looking good for this Buffalo team, and
Taking advantage of aggressive goalkeeping, keeper way out on the edge of his box, and was chipped by McBath from just outside of that. And how about that start, coming off a couple of games where they were unable to crack the score sheet. Second minute goal for FC Buffalo, take an early 1-0 lead, much to the delight of those in attendance here. Collect to get it over here to Trout. Trout plays up the near side. He's contested though, ends up going out of play. Throwing back by Erie, down into the box, maybe a little bit too far. And again, Trout will see that one out for a little bit.
The FC Buffalo goal is first of the season, scored by number 32, Johnny McBath.
Cheer the announcement of McBath's goal.
Assist by number 28, first goal, FC Buffalo altered in the third minute.
Just the start of this FC Buffalo coaching staff wanting to see here today and trying to get much more involved early than they did in their season opener contest. Maybe the warm weather warming up the players as well.
yeah, it was a 3-0 win for Erie last time they took the field against the Rochester River Dogs, who had beaten us 1-0. That was a preseason matchup, so it didn't count toward the standings, but definitely got FC Buffalo riled up, and they're not going to lay down and take that.
Yeah, this is the official regular season opener for Erie traveling here, and they get them caught right after that. Here's a good run down the right side by Person. That one, though, safely played away by the Erie keeper up to the right side, out for a throw. Nice aggressive run there by Person, trying to get ahead there. They are not shy about attacking this Erie defense early, maybe seeing something they like. That's not the first player who's got him behind. Throw and taken here by Buffalo on the far side. Swung across, looking for Camacho. We can't quite get there. Collides with an Erie player, both get up, no harm. On the far side, looking for him at the back.
And I think the center was prepared to make a run for that ball as well, but he was head offsides and had to take it.
Here on the positive side, good nice back by Camacho. Looking here on the near side, he's got Walter. Walter plays it in, looking again for McBath. Just that out of his reach. A signal back to Walter. To a left, that was a great ball.
These teams are not shying away for contact. In fact, they're inviting it, which is you can see the ref go into their pocket sometime soon.
Nicely by Camacho. He'll chase his own ball down. That will eventually bounce out of play. Referee on the near side signaling it's Erie ball. Throw in to mid. There's another collision. The referee chooses to let it play on for advantage and will ultimately tell Erie they're a little bit too aggressive. They're not waiting for the referee signal to continue play. It will be a foul. We'll see about an indirect free kick here. 40-yard line. They'll turn back over to FC Buffalo. They'll play it up to midfield. Second shot back into the
things have slowed down a little bit. Players are taking their time when they're coming up to the line for the throw-in, and it's hot out there, so I don't really blame them after that really intense start.
Also will throw it in here for FC Buffalo. Looking for Camacho, can't quite get it to him. Played up ahead, stolen though away by Donaldson. Into the middle it goes. So another collision. Another set of appeals from the fans here, and person goes down to no call.
Yeah, I believe the defender got the ball on that play, so while there was a trip, it came in a little after the ball had already passed.
These fans riled up to start this game, and then that early goal only adding to the fight. Very exciting prospect of handing Erie also that opening game of the season. Maybe an Erie throw on the far side, just into the 7th minute. Headed away by Macbeth, got it ahead into Person. FC Buffalo really controlling the flow of play here so far. Camacho heads it back. At his man, just bounced over the leg of his own.
We got a call on a late tackle, so we're going to have a free kick about 30 yards out.
First against Erie. Sets up here about 30 yards away.
The official brushing back the Commodores. They a little too close to challenge this free kick. And like I said, slowing things down, taking a little bit of time.
Almost entirely now with a loud one. The box person does just that.
And we got our first card of the game.
Yellow card going to McFadden.
And I have to question that call a little bit. I'm not sure that I would give away a card for that. It was a 50-50 ball, contact from both parties, and it's disappointing to see Buffalo get the first booking of the game. But
he did definitely grab a little bit of the jersey that was Billy Colton for Erie. It was the last man back. A great ball by the keeper, noticing the advantage, the one-on-one situation, and it was able to carry it over the head of McFadden. Had no chance but to cause some contact or allow a clean break for Colton. So great spot for this free kick here for Erie, just outside of the box, just inside of 20 yards away. Wilbur Colton who's going to take it.
The keeper's still trying to position people.
Drives it low. One of the FC Buffalo defenders in the box was not played away by Brian.
We're going to get that first corner kick of the game as Erie sets up on the far side.
Just over 8 minutes gone in the first half. Set pieces are, of course, key in games like this for these teams. Once you get the scoring up and early, ball into the box, played away.
Two side volleys from number 10 on the Erie Commodores, and our keeper was up to the task both times. Unfortunately, that second save was out of bounds.
Couldn't felt the first one didn't quite got through to him. Fernando Martinez who carried both the champions. And that's headed out the far side. It's going to remain Erie ball this time for a throw. Just shy of the touchline.
These dangerous Erie attackers are really being swallowed up by Buffalo so far. They have to be pretty proud of how they're defending their side at this point.
Back into the box, headed away very nicely by McGrath. Can't quite get out of their own zone. They do finally get out of the box.
Yeah, wide wing play by Erie, smartly let through by Macbeth, and Buffalo's going to come up the field with a throw-in on the far side.
They're having been on their heels here for the last couple of minutes. There's player back currently on the Buffalo side of the field.
Macbeth looking for a call, but again, I think we're going to have our second booking of the game. And we've got a red card. Now we're going to play 10 men down for the rest of the match. That is unfortunate.
Erie continuing to play, even though the referee is booking McFadden. Another collision of players inside the box, the referee's attention elsewhere.
Now that play from Captain McFadden was in retaliation for kind of a hip check out at about 40 yards out from the box as Buffalo was attempting to maintain possession in the midfield. and McFadden just laid a shoulder into the rushing Erie player. Kind of thing you don't necessarily want to see, but
no intention at all of going for the ball in that situation.
No, none.
Just went shoulder to shoulder.
With one card already in the books, you can't really make that play, especially as a leader of the team.
Not even a situation where the Erie player had a clear chance at that. They were certainly looking for that teammate. But an unfortunate situation here for FC Buffalo. That early 1-0 lead and a little bit of jeopardy. Free kick just outside of the box. Just outside 10 yards away. Now down to 10 men for the remainder of this game. Referee trying to take the time here to settle down the play, which she'll walk away from the ball. There he was trying to catch it. Certainly in the range that can drive this clear of the goal. It's going to be a big test here early on for those underneath Jeffs.
Looks like we're about to get things started again.
Trout, the defenseman, is going to take it. So the first big chance here for Erie is answered by FC Buffalo's defense. Still 1-0 Buffalo here, 13th minute of action. Trout drives it up to midfield. We'll see what kind of formation FC Buffalo settles in here, losing one of their men on the back.
They get the ball in deep on that goal kick, but it looks like they're backing off a little bit, allowing the back four for Erie to carry the ball to midfield, set themselves up. And I think they're playing a slow, smart game here. They're going to let Erie bring it to them, and hopefully they can match them defensively. Being the man down, they don't want to overexert themselves this early in the first half of the match. Calls of "you can't do that" coming from the situation room. They are correct. You can't do that indeed.
They actually cannot do that. That's why the referee is having a small meeting over there to let them know. Colorado is guilty of the call. So just over 13 minutes in, we've had 3 yellow cards already. As we alluded to early on in the broadcast, these teams not very fond of each other. Their actions so far have shown kind of disregard for each other's safety. They made it to believe they do. Old-fashioned sports rivalry today. He throws it in on the near side. This ball by Knox is answered by Perez to Buffalo.
Erie tries for the quick throw, but they're not ready for it.
When they have the ball down, even their last defender completely clear of midfield. So if FC Buffalo, as they did on that first goal, is able to find it in the rear chastising the Erie forward for taking a little bit of a dive there at the end. By Camacho. Kind of settling in a little bit here after that early struggle. The second minute goal, they have settled down and have done a very good job of contesting the sort of through ball that Buffalo is looking at, especially in a situation where they're not really able to. So Erie's got shots. Couple of minutes they have found their footing.
It's a little bit easier maybe with 10 men to dissect the Buffalo defending side and control the zone a little bit better. A lot of east-west play more than north-south, but they are getting the ball through.
Save the ball. Back into the middle. No one enough for Person. Still got his left foot. Easy. Totally. That's got nothing different in the defense. Person. Play. And create a nice scoring opportunity just on the outside of the box.
It was nice to see us get some control on the offensive side, and the heel chip up to the far wing almost paid off, but just drove it a little bit high over the net.
The first quality FC Buffalo chance we've seen since that early goal in this game. They came off the footage on that first FC Buffalo goal of the season, and what better time to do it than here today against your hated rivals, the Erie Commodores. You're crossing your field now. Locked it away. Almost out of bounds. Really good field. Clean out of the back. Plus minutes in this game, 3 cards and a goal, plenty of opportunities in both ends.
I think we'll see as the game rolls on, Buffalo takes a little more time with these opportunities, these throw-ins and these goal kicks that they are getting on a pretty regular basis.
Just kick ends up getting ahead to Tolan. Tolan all by himself with a nice run on the outside, gets him out of the corner for a second. It's back here to individual effort by Tolan to win this advantageous throw-in here for FC Buffalo. Tolan sees the throw-in, knocked away again by Erie. They're not able to keep it in. They'll take 2. So back on the outside.
This throw-in is just inside the 6-yard marker. I'd like to see it head toward the middle and see if maybe one of the aerial goals for Buffalo.
Plays it back out to the Red is just a leading him. That's it to get knocked out of the box. Erie now is in for the goal kick. Was very little time. Not enough time.
At some point, that might end up firing back at them.
We'll see in the course of the game as well. We're down a man all over the place.
And it's good to see they've come back a little bit, maybe got their spirits risen back up from losing that man early on.
Walter throws it into the box. Totally goes over this one. Finds the keeper.
He folded up like an origami swan. That was pretty pathetic.
And it's FC Buffalo is proud to sponsor with partner with Rich Products Corporation, known around the world as a pioneer of the frozen food industry and a leading supplier and solutions provider to the food service industry.
Everywhere here in midfield so far for FC Buffalo. Very impressed with his play. Only for a moment, they're totally covered by finding it again. FC Buffalo's midfield is anticipating that pass. It's turned about a square play. Take a right back away here for Erie. Their permanent numbers advantage being pressed.
Erie now taking their time to set up in the midfield. They've got their backs drawn up to the center line.
Season opener, the third regular season game for FC Buffalo. Well, the first one that Erie has played in this season since their recent victory over Rochester.
Again with a quick throw from Erie.
Out about 20 yards from his box, and he will take it here himself.
No pressure from Buffalo.
Buffalo is not in presence. Buffalo's second blade away there by Perez. He can't collect into his teammate though. Erie now pressing numbers towards the box.
And there we get some contact with the call on that. It came in quite a bit late, although our keeper did drop it.
The referee over to discuss it with both parties involved. Jeff did a great job anticipating this, getting the recovery off. Just their fourth comments. Jeff so far looking very comfortable as well. Buffalo trying to get something going here. Tolan playing with the Soman forward for most of the second half, for this first half, after they lost their man to the second yellow very
An unfortunate play out of bounds for Erie turns into a fortunate play for Buffalo. They're going to get the throw in again, taking their time, allowing to set up a back play to the defender, and ball gets cleared to midfield.
got it back to the safety. A lone goal scorer here early in this contest. Just about reaching 26-minute mark. Just over a minute in. That made a great run into the box. Was able to chip the keeper. The FC Buffalo was 1-0.
Yeah, we had 7 players from Erie on the Buffalo side, and I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of that, making the midfielders and the forwards even come back further than they'd like, run a little bit more than they should.
More contact here, another whistle. An official will blow that whistle down by the end of this contest at this rate. And FC Buffalo with a chance here to press forward a little bit off this free kick. Taken here by Donaldson. He's over there on the near side. Here's Walter. Walter will walk away. Driven low by Donaldson. Nicely headed on. It's a goal. Able to get that. That was Macbeth again on the far side.
That was a solid drive.
Wait, no, what was the point? Would you be able to plug it into the
I would go ahead and play it here.
Because I could do it straight to my
On
laptop.
the Buffalo app.
Because everything in there is going to hero.
Yeah. Chip over the head of Camacho. Into the box. And then across the line. Offside official. Calling it offsides.
I have to honestly say I'm a little bit surprised with these offsides calls. It seems that Erie's a better and more disciplined team than that, but it's working out well for the Buffalo side.
Maybe just a hair too early, hard to tell from the midfield area where we're set up, but I will defer to the far side official who deemed that it was just a step too early that the Erie player had left for that effort at goal. The shift of possession after that second yellow, as you may imagine, were rather dramatic. FC Buffalo controlling the flow of play for the first 8 or so minutes before they lost. Alvarez, very adventurous again. Well outside.
Corner kick of the game. Alvarez tried as hard as he could to get that ball before it crossed the end line, but did not make it in time. Needed to stay cleared it.
Taken by Camacho on the far side. These are the kind of chances, if you are down a man, that you can really utilize to your advantage. Well, the goal scoring opportunity for FC Buffalo. They're something that they're very critical. Puts it into the net for FC Buffalo off the beautiful ball from Camacho McGrath, as Eric mentioned. Very little room to work. The defender draped all over him, and somehow able to get a clean, solid strike on that ball. And much to the delight of those in attendance, it is 2-0 FC Buffalo. The first 2 goals of the season coming here, the first 29 minutes of change here in the first half of this game against the Erie. Which team had only 10 men. Ball out the back, and McBeth, a little bit of contact in the back, and end up being a goal kick.
You mentioned earlier the picture-perfect day, and we couldn't have seen a picture-perfect drive by Camacho. It's beautiful to see on these.
The FC Buffalo coaching staff find very little wrong with how they've managed to recoup. After that second game, the Park playing down 10 men, they have not relented and taken their time here to press their attack. And a big 2-0 lead here early on. This team that couldn't find their offense through their first 2 contests has seemed to alleviate some of those problems here in the first 30 minutes. If you're Erie here, there's some doubts starting to creep in about what they can actually do against this team. FC Buffalo has put both their offensive ball in the net. Last goal is announced to the crowd with a chorus of cheers and rhythmic drumming.
You're welcome. Fans,
Due
to a traffic delay causing several very important people to be late getting here, we ask that you observe the 37th minute of today's game when the clock starts 37. For a minute's applause in honor of the late Chris Pepper, that's 37-0-0. Please offer a minute's applause to Chris Pepper.
The PA announcer just asked us a moment of silence at the 37th minute, so if we go dark for 60 seconds, do not adjust your radio. We'll be back at 38:01.
Erie's still trying to press their attack there. Nice defensive play. That's on Keith Trout has been all over the place on the back here, especially since they've figured it out in this game. Taking a lot of free kicks, a lot of quality challenges there in the outside box. That doesn't end up being an Erie corner. Third one that the Commodores have taken on the other side. There for a second, but it's the referee does to play off. See one more time.
times, all the young players but one inside of 30 yards. Alvarez has ventured out again, over 20 yards away from his goal. The kind of aggressiveness that we saw result in the first FC Buffalo goal, being again pressing the shot over. Jeff's a full extension. Not quite tested by that one, a good effort.
He had done a good job working the ball around the outside and gotten it to the middle for a nice strike, but it just went high with the outstretched arm.
The FC Buffalo has done a good job of keeping the efforts from Erie as far away from the box as possible. Just grouping back and trying to enforce anything that the Commodores can get has been taken from far outside, really limiting what they can do. Those are the kind of opportunities that you feel your keeper has a good chance to see and a good chance to react to from that kind of distance. One ball there by you. They're on a run now on the far side. Numbers coming back. Trying to find a team on the side. Scoreboard just recently changed to reflect the second FC Buffalo goal off the front of the Wrath. It is 2-0 Buffalo over Erie here on a picture-perfect late spring day from All High Stadium in Buffalo, New York. On WBNY today, bring you on this action. Friendly WNY media.
Substitution for FC Buffalo for injured goalkeeper, number 0, Nick Jeffs, number 99, Stephen Casey.
Goalkeeping change here for FC Buffalo. Jeffs will go out, and it's Steve Casey, the Williamsville, New York native, who will come in to take over here in the 35th minute. So early on there, you wonder where that first sub was going to come from. FC Buffalo keep playing down the man, and Jeffs goes off to the chorus of cheers. Well, he played for this time, and that goes down.
There was that contact early on from the aggressive Commodore forward, and I have to wonder if that had something to do with it, but on the first shot that came across, he stretched wide, and it looked like he may have pulled a muscle and then too. It's hard to tell exactly when it was that he was injured.
A couple different shots to the ribcage area taken by Jeffs on a couple different occasions, one from the ground, one from a cleat.
And when he stretched for that last shot that went just over the crossbar, it seems like he may have re-aggravated whatever it was that he had hurt in the first place.
The coaching staff aware of that and taking their chance there to get him out of the game. Also take a quick breather. There are a couple FC Buffalo players who are over there getting a quick dose of some water and talking to the coaching staff there as well. So a little mini timeout as the keeper walks the full 50 yards back to the bench. We're all settled back in. Now though, Erie trying to find an answer here in the first half. They thought they had it when Buffalo went down to 10 men, but FC Buffalo found a way, even down that 10th man, to answer with a second goal. And now Erie is trying to find some semblance of their offense here again in their season opener. No shortage of history between these two clubs and FC Buffalo. You know all these players who have gone on record this week saying that this Hate Erie hashtag that we see on social media for the fans doesn't just apply to the fans, it applies to a number of the players who have played against this Erie team over the course of the last few years, that they would love nothing more than to make a statement here piling on to Erie.
Well, with losing their first two matches of the season, it'd be tough for them to go down 3-0. You never really want to get that deep into a hole and that far down.
The near side by Trout is played out for an Erie throw. They'll take their time here. Ball goes up ahead. Nicely played again there by Trout, looking deep for Toland over his head, but a nice aggressive play there in midfield by Person. Person will leave it on their side to Macbeth. Back to Person. Person with a little bit of room to work. Looking back from Macbeth, another nice aggressive run from Macbeth, and the ball just shy of finding the left foot of Macbeth. Another nice answer there by the FC Buffalo defender on the far side. That is Paredes. Person now. Back to Macbeth. Across the near side here to Walter. Wildcat himself a nice game. Back in a nice deep ball. Man back there is Toland with a right-footed strike. Gets headed away. Toland shaking his head in disbelief that he couldn't quite get it around the defender. You see Camacho calling here his teammates to jump up, and they will do so here on a far side throw. We mentioned the moment of silence. It's actually not one of silence, but one rather of celebration.
Yeah, the silence turned into thunderous applause, which I'm sure is appreciated.
FC Buffalo here will get the second corner kick of the match. We saw the result of the first one. The first one resulted in the second FC Buffalo goal. And again, Camacho here will be the one to take it. The right-footed striker from the far side of the field. As we approach the 39th minute of play here, FC Buffalo still up 2-0. Camacho drives it in low in the box again, looking for the same kind of play, but this time Erie is keen and heads it away. As we share in the sentiments of those here today, celebrating and mourning the loss of life of a fallen FC Buffalo family member. That 37th minute recognized. FC Buffalo still pressing the advantage there. Coincidentally, the sound, that minute of celebration, was concurrent with another nice push here from FC Buffalo offensively. 6 minutes and stoppage away from the halftime whistle there, maybe feeling that they can play a little bit more aggressively, waste a little bit more energy there, knowing they have that chance to regroup.
And I think they're seeing Alvarez come way too far out of his box and hoping to take advantage of another chip goal over top of his head, because he was at least 8 yards out to head that last clear away, and if he had missed it, it was all Buffalo.
He has been, as far I've seen, as 25 yards out of his goal crease, which is rather adventurous for a keeper in a sport where, especially where he's got an extra player on his team right now, an extra defenseman staying back about midfield. But Erie has not been shy of trying to press the advantage here and try to find that goal, as they're doing here right now. The far side midfielder falling down, but Erie's able to get it into the box. Nice play there. First challenge of the keeper. The new keeper, Casey, goes wide of the near side post.
Again, defended well by the Buffalo side, keeping the possession wide. The shot comes across fairly harmlessly. If there had been someone on the back door, that may have been a goal, but Buffalo was able to keep the 6-yard mark clear, and the goaltender attracted the entire way.
One advantage to having Casey in instead of Jeffs. Casey taking his own goal kicks there allows Buffalo to press up a little bit more, as he does here right now, up to midfield, challenged and won by Erie. FC Buffalo here content. Let Alvarez take it.
Little elbow to the back of the head draws another free kick for Buffalo. About halfway into the Commodores' offensive side. And this kind of thing is only going to work out to Buffalo's advantage. It allows them to slow the game down again, allows them to set up again. They've been dangerous, obviously, on set pieces with that second goal coming off the corner kick.
And the other advantage to set pieces, it allows you to get players forward and it's kind of sort of untimed, unpressured situation there, which is advantageous to you when you're down a man as they are. Able to keep it in there. Macbeth on the far side has been all over the field. Incredible end-to-end player he has been here today. Into the box it goes. There's a man there. Can't quite get out of those. McGrath again looking for a second, and he couldn't quite get it around the Erie defender.
Buffalo's not going to relent possession.
Walter right foot into the box. Alvarez out to challenge. That play was offsides regardless. First time we've seen Buffalo be a little bit too aggressive on their offense. First offsides goal against FC Buffalo. We approach the 42nd minute of play here in the first half. Still 2-0, FC Buffalo leading and visiting Erie Commodores, much to the delight of those in attendance here today at All High Stadium. Erie trying to find something they haven't yet to, and they're going to call it, I believe, a handball.
And Commodore's looking for a call, but the referee tells him to tie his shoe a little bit better, and maybe he'll be able to carry that ball.
It is, though, a foul called on FC Buffalo. So not getting a card as he may have been appealing for, but still getting the foul call. And as you've seen a couple different times here, Erie content to kind of play the ball whether or not the referee gives them the whistle to go ahead, and she has been insistent that they allow her to be in charge of the game. Erie with all 10 of their players outside of their keeper inside 30 yards for a moment there of the FC Buffalo goal. And that's why we've seen FC Buffalo able to counterattack when they have. Erie's been backpedaling almost the entire game when FC Buffalo has the ball. On the far side, they able to recollect, taken there by Paredes. Lost it for a second. He's backtracking. Nice play coming back there by Donaldson. He's tripped referee here to signal stoppage time shortly about what they'll go for here. The 2 FC Buffalo goals and 1 FC Buffalo substitution. The only things noted on score sheets thus far.
And a neat chip from the Commodores is sent away harmlessly. They're going to get the throw in about 6 yards deep into the 18.
So another quality chance here for Erie. Their set pieces look a little bit disjointed here thus far, as you may expect from the team. Headed on and just over the goal. Quality chance, a great throw from the near side. And it seems like it caught Casey kind of in between, but thankfully for the FC Buffalo goalkeeper, he was not ultimately called into service. Casey now will take his time, allow his team to press up. He'll take the left-footed strike up here to midfield. Another header by Tolan trying to find Camacho. Camacho gets there. 2 on 3, but with some room. On the near side to Walter. Walter with room to run. Right side of the box, he'll play it in. And that one over the head of Tolan will not be kept in. A good effort by Philip Person on the far side to get there, but wasn't quite able to keep it from becoming a goal kick. Alvarez now. The 45th minute of play.
Still no signal for stoppage time.
And we will see what they go for here. Regardless, Erie trying to take this last little bit of time here, try to find some semblance of something positive to build on offensively before the half, even with a man advantage here for over half an hour now. Have not been able to. We've got 3 minutes. 3 minutes of stoppage time is the official time there. So we've got just over 3 minutes and change here remaining in the first half here today. Lovely downtown Buffalo, New York.
We're into stoppage time.
And as you had heard over the PA system, we are now into that extra 3 minutes to referee's discretion of stoppage time here. For all the play that Erie has controlled, you've got to be very confident if you're the FC Buffalo coaching staff about your defense's ability so far throughout this first half to really keep them at end. Keep them outside of the box, force them to take longer chances even when they've gotten in. Nothing has been easy. Another whistle there, and FC Buffalo has won a free kick. Nicely done there by Camacho.
And it's a great individual play to get the inside step on the aggressive offender and just kind of hover over the ball just long enough to draw the physical contact and maybe take a little bit of a fall and gain possession.
We see Camacho and Macbeth both playing both ends of the field very expertly so far here. Camacho with the assist on the second FC Buffalo goal. To that 2-0 advantage they currently sit at. FC Buffalo now with a little bit of chance played it by Alvarez, but he played it right to Person. Person trying to find some teammates to work with. He'll get it back to Macbeth on the far side. Macbeth plays it in looking for Camacho. Can't quite get there. Nicely played there by Donaldson. He's got Tolan. Back to Donaldson. Plays it high off his chest. Left-footed effort, though, does just elude him. Both teams looking to push here at the end of the half. We have a series of collisions at midfield that will result in an Erie free kick.
And another 50-50 ball that comes out with a call for Buffalo, but honestly, it really could have gone either way. And the Commodore player did end up getting trampled, but it was kind of his own volition for going to the ground so easily.
And both teams here not shy about contact. That effort there from the right boot of the Erie forward on the far side sails far wide of the goal. And Casey content to drag out a few extra seconds here as we approach rapidly the end of this first half. We'll settle in for a goal kick. Signaling his teammates to go forward. As Camacho here on the side, that's Walter on the near side, giving a quick wave and a thumbs up to the Situation Room. Played at midfield off the head of Person. Headed on by Erie. What may likely be the last attack. Macbeth, though, cuts it short. Person is back to take it. Nice move on the inside. Another series of nice moves. Person creating all his own room. Gets it back. Oh, what a run from Person.
Buffalo's back 3-on-2.
To the outside.
Real strong chance to end this half.
Trying to get the Tolan and left it behind him. What an amazing run by Person. And it's a shame that that was the end of it. Able to move right around a couple of Erie defenders. And a nice challenge there by Walter at midfield, preventing Erie from getting back quickly the other way. A great team effort this has truly been for FC Buffalo. So far in this first half, another whistle.
And a hard shoulder tackle definitely worthy of a call, not worthy of a card. This might be the last action that we see of this half. Hopefully Buffalo can defend it well, gain possession, and clear the ball.
We'll see what Erie can do here with this chance, pushing everyone forward. The last man back is the man taking the free kick just over 20 yards out. Swung in, punched away by Casey. And as Eric alluded to, that will signal the end of the first half. Fans to their feet. After two disappointing offensive efforts, FC Buffalo has found their footing here today. They have taken a 2-0 lead into the half off the strength of goals from Johnny Macbeth and Ian McGrath. So a quality 45-plus minutes of play there for FC Buffalo, as they will look to continue that effort there in the second half. A lot of things to like from what we saw there in the first half. We're going to go ahead and take our brief halftime break here, but Eric and I will be back here definitely for the second half. We'll be right back here on 93.1 WBNY and on WNYmedia.net. Buffalo and the Erie Commodores here from All High Stadium. FC Buffalo coming into the second half with a 2-0 advantage, and they're going to say a very positive first half there for FC Buffalo, even being down a man.
Yeah, and it hasn't seemed to have affected them so far. Hopefully they can maintain the defensive stance that they have had as the game drags on.
And FC Buffalo will start here going right to left. They will start with the ball. The second half underway here. FC Buffalo looking for their first victory of the season. Both teams are. This is Erie's first game of the season in general. It would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for that halftime talking. Lovely effort from far out. Rings off the crossbar. An inspired effort off the foot of Kieran Toland. Absolutely nailed it.
A fantastic drive that almost dipped underneath, but just caught the top edge for the goal kick.
Alvarez not quite ready to be called into action from that kind of range, but he was tested very firmly there by Toland. A good early look for FC Buffalo. Erie going left to right here in the away white uniforms. Driven up ahead there, just out of the range of Morshood. He'll get it back here though. Off his right foot, looking ahead there. Finds Andrade. Andrade with the left foot blocked off the back there of Paredes. Andrade trying to get it back. No such luck. Up ahead here comes FC Buffalo. Just one man. And that's Toland. He'll circle back. Far side to Walter. Walter looking ahead. Looking back for Toland, but that's parried away there nicely by Roach. Another set of players fall in midfield. Appeals there from the bench of FC Buffalo. No call. Coaching staff not happy that that's the time the whistle decided to stay silent. Another FC Buffalo player goes down to the dismay of the coaching staff, and Erie presses on as a result. And now an Erie player goes down. Referees allowing much more to go here in the first couple of minutes here of the second half than we saw early on.
We saw a little bit of this as the first half action got started, players upping the physical game and the official not really taking a hard stance on it. So this may result in a quick series of yellow cards to settle things back down.
It was Martinez for Erie who was the last man to fall down in a heap. Ultimately, all these collisions result in an FC Buffalo throw-in on the far side. Camacho tried to get there, couldn't quite. Had it again here by FC Buffalo. Ends up to Person. Just 2 men up for FC Buffalo. Camacho will run up here to make it 3. Numbers not in their favor, but a great ball from Camacho just eludes Person and ends up out the back for a goal kick. FC Buffalo's counterattack has proven to be deadly, even with a numbers disadvantage a number of times here in this game. That counterattack quickly led to the goal in the second minute there, off the foot of Johnny Macbeth. An error there on the back end for Erie. Gives the ball right back to FC Buffalo. So a throw in here.
The Commodores don't seem as confident as they did when they began this match.
Yeah, a lot more swagger and aggressiveness. You could see it even in their faces early on in this contest. It seems to have faded.
And that poor cross, there was no pressure, and all they had to do was a soft touch to the center, and they blew it all the way across, resulting in Buffalo's possession.
Alvarez aggressively up ahead there with the throw, and Erie will try to go back here the other way. And as Campos trying to track it down, he can't quite get there.
He's seen a lot of action on his side. Hopefully his back and forth doesn't take too much out of him, and he's got the endurance to last this match, because he's been key for Buffalo's defense so far.
That's Walter over there, number 28, who's been one of a number of Buffalo defenders who's been pressed into a kind of hybrid midfield role even. As even the players in the back are trying to press forward there, being down a man, to try to create any sort of advantage there. It's been basically Toland playing up front by himself, a kind of 1-4-4 setup we've seen from FC Buffalo here for the most part of this game. There's Walter with a quality challenge, slides in there, knocks it away. It's going to be a throw there for Erie, but a great play by Walter preventing Erie from getting a good look at goal. Allman will throw it. Looking towards the box, hurls it in. That one goes over a couple of Buffalo defenders. Macbeth is there, still loose in the box. And that's ultimately off the right foot of Trout, out of the box, if only for a second. And then challenged again there. Great play by Brian Paredes. He has been just calm, cool, and collected in the box here so far today. Erie
pressing again and again. Knocked away there off the right foot of Macbeth.
Macbeth is just physically outmatching his opponent down low, and that's a matchup I think Buffalo wants to see, that bigger midfielder in Macbeth against the smaller forwards of the Commodores. It's going to work out to Buffalo's advantage most times.
Macbeth, a tall, very speedy, and not very thin, if you will, for a soccer player, defender there. Definitely towering over and just out-muscling his opponents there on the near side. Erie can't quite seem to find their footing. Both teams turning the ball over back and forth. A long-range effort there is handled nicely by Casey, and he'll try to settle it down. Casey coming in the 33rd minute for Nick Jeffs, who started the game left with an undisclosed injury, might have pulled a muscle, a number of different collisions and stretches we saw him doing in the first half to keep the ball out of the net. And we certainly hope that he is okay. He did walk off under entirely his own power, and has just been sitting on the bench, so we certainly hope it's nothing major keeping him out of this game. Back in midfield now is Erie, that's Horseshoe. Near side it comes to De Silva. De Silva thought about going long with it, decides to keep it closer to Daly. Daly, 2 touches inside, and he'll get it back. Near side to Henry. Henry tries to turn, nothing much to do there, but a nice chip ball there. Andrade chasing after it, and he can't quite get there as it's parried away there, out of play by Paredes. We do have a sub coming in here for FC Buffalo, their second officially. It's going to be number 11, Isaiah Barrett, who's going to check in here on the back end. So here in the 51st minute, FC Buffalo reaching down here, trying to find some fresh legs. As he will replace number 18, Philip Person, who has played very well in the midfield for FC Buffalo. And that one just eluded the man up front there. That was Killick, number 21.
I think that move signifies that Buffalo is content to play a lot of defense here, slow the game down. It's going to be an interesting chess match this second half. The Commodores are going to want to keep the ball in play, keep the ball moving in, and stay aggressive, and Buffalo is going to want to do everything they can to slow it down, shore up their defense, and keep the Commodores off of the board.
Yeah, FC Buffalo here losing a man in the 8th minute to a second yellow card taken by number 23, Kendall McFadden. Have been playing with 10 men here for almost 50 minutes at this point and have not yet relented, but the coaching staff knows, of course, that Erie is going to have that numbers advantage here for the entirety of this game here, unless Erie is to make a similar mistake. And you want to stock your defense there with fresh legs and kind of sit here on this 2-goal lead. Goals stereotypically hard to come by in a game of soccer, but not so far here in the first half for FC Buffalo.
And we got an offsides call, and a nice play up the middle, and almost turned it around for a decent shot, but just like you said, a half step offside. That end judge was on it.
Yeah, Toland was the man guilty of the infraction. He has been the man playing up front basically solo ever since they went down to 10 men, and he's done a great job of really forcing Erie's defense to stay honest. There is a midfield. He's going to circle back to Walter. Walter looking ahead, fires it up there. He's got 2 men. Oh, that one just a little shy of McGrath. Made a beautiful run on the outside. Couldn't quite get there. Backheeled by McGrath to Camacho. A great play by Ian McGrath, the second of the 2 Buffalo goal scorers. That one just unfortunately out of bounds there on the far side. Walter was creeping up there. Is forced to run back there here with another quick throw, as we've seen from them. Beautifully volleyed ahead there by McGrath, forcing them back to chase there. And we'll see Barrett up there. A little bit of pressure on the defenseman there, the one with the fresh legs. Number 11 in blue here for FC Buffalo. Kind of an attacking midfield role he's taking on here so far in his time on the field. Erie crosses the midfield stripe now. And they'll try to regroup. Playing a little bit more honest defensively. We saw at a number of points there in the first half that Erie's entire defense would be well inside the midfield stripe. There are a couple men staying back there. Toland forcing them to be honest. That ball goes outside on the far side for an Erie throw. They take again very quickly, not letting FC Buffalo really wonder about who's open. The 54th minute of play here at All High. It's still 2-0. That ball played into the box, headed away there by Trout. Walter plays it to himself, gets a little bit of contact. Referee decides to let it play on, but it will be FC Buffalo ball. Again, thank you very much for joining us here this lovely Friday evening here. 91.3 WBNY on your radio, WNYmedia.net for your streaming pleasure. I'm Jeff Boyd, and this is Eric Walschlager here with me from the 716 Sports Podcast. I'd like to thank WBNY for having us here today to allow us to join you for this FC Buffalo home game, as we will be doing here throughout the rest of the season. And we're very excited here to call a number of games like this. Have another sub here for FC Buffalo, their third and final. That's going to be number 7, Andrew Ferguson, who's going to come on. And Tolan, who we mentioned a couple times playing quality match, will get some much-deserved rest there. 55 good minutes of pressing the defense. We mentioned that defense is key, but FC Buffalo can tend to play a couple of fresher sets of legs forward here. Trying to keep Erie honest, prevent those Erie defenders from creeping well inside the 30-yard mark even. Erie not helping their own cause. That's the second time here early in this half that we've seen Erie play the ball out of bounds with no pressure to themselves. And Walter will be the beneficiary, a throw-in for FC Buffalo. Up ahead it goes. Looking for Ferguson. Ferguson with a beautiful turn. Can't quite get there. Good defensive effort there by Daly. But Ferguson, you can tell those fresh legs. It's amazing, even though all these players just sat and enjoyed their halftime motivation in one case and halftime praise perhaps in the other. The fresh legs for those players who were not running around for the first 45 minutes is a stark difference. That turn from Ferguson, he seems like he had another gear that these defenders don't yet have.
They really are making a big difference. Those fresh legs are helping on the runs. And Buffalo's turned from defensive to a little bit more aggressive here in the middle third of the second half.
Impressive possession numbers here in the second half for the team playing down a man. And again, just one man pressuring for FC Buffalo. They seem to be in complete control here in the midfield at this point in the game. This is going to be a Buffalo throw taken by Macbeth here right in front of us. Headed on there by Ferguson. Lost it though. Erie can tend to set up here, but as time goes on, they'll be less able to do so. Down 2 goals here on the road against their rival FC Buffalo. Another quality play there by Macbeth, very aware of the situation, heads it back to his keeper. Casey will take his time here, allow his teammates to press forward, and he'll boot it up. Left-footed keeper looking for Ferguson, finds him. Ferguson, 2 touches to himself, beautiful play there. On the near side, Barrett sliding in, well, late, thinks the fans. Referee tends to disagree. There was some ball contact there, and it will be a throw for FC Buffalo, taken here by Macbeth. Throws it into Ferguson. Parried away there nicely by the Erie defender. Off the foot there, off Paredes, out of play. That was Roach for Erie, who made that great defensive play just a moment ago. Daly. Erie trying to approach the far side here. The near side has not proven to be an open area for them here as we approach now the 58th minute of play. Erie still looking for their first goal, their first quality chance here even of the second half. Daly finds an open teammate on the far side. Camacho out to press, forces him to slow down a little bit, and Daly will recollect. Looking to the near side of the box. Andrade. Turning around and no such luck, and a great challenge by Macbeth again around 2 players. What a run from Macbeth. Flag is up, and what a play from Macbeth. He found his teammate Ferguson running all alone, and Ferguson, in his excitement to see how far Alvarez was creeping from his crease again, was just a bit offsides.
And that mismatch on the outside of Andrade versus Macbeth, I have to think that the Commodores manager may want to make a change there. At least move Andrade more toward the middle where he's doesn't have such a size disadvantage.
Yeah, Andrade not a player who's used to being out-muscled, but Macbeth so far has been physical to just the perfect level, has not been overly aggressive, not been taking fouls. Speaking of fouls, there's one on the far side committed by Erie. Referee trying to separate the 2 players there. Chris Walter from FC Buffalo not happy with that challenge that was given there on the far side by Roach. So it's Byron for Erie. Walter boots it ahead looking for Barrett. Barrett wins the challenge. We have another whistle. This one is on Barrett. And Erie will get a chance here for a free kick of their own. Not wasting any time there, feeling they have no time to waste as we approach the 60th minute of play. It is still 2-0 in favor of the home side. Byron plays it over his head, anticipating a run from his teammate who did not do so.
I have to say that Buffalo's doing a fantastic job keeping the ball in the middle third or even the offensive zone in this half. Being the man down, you'd think that they may be falling back a little bit, but they made substitutions at the right time to get fresh legs out, and they're really doing a great job possessing that ball.
FC Buffalo knows what a third goal could mean to them in this game. Macbeth again got a little bit of his jersey grabbed. Doesn't stop him from making another quality play. Play from behind, though, nicely by Daly. He goes down, gets back up, goes down again. I think we're going to see a card. That's going to be on Macbeth. I had just complimented him on not crossing that line. I apologize for jinxing you, my friend. But that is going to be a yellow card on number 32, Johnny Macbeth. That's his first. It's the third yellow card that FC Buffalo has been guilty of here in this game. Getting a little bit too friendly with Campos in midfield, knocked him down, and this Campos got out to take the free kick, put a shoulder back into him again. So that's a little bit more of the spirit we saw out of the gate here from these two teams, challenging with or without the ball.
Yeah, and they were giving it to Macbeth a little bit away from the play, and you know he retaliated. The retaliation always gets caught, but being the sizable guy that he is, he's not going to just let that lie either. You know, it was good of him to make a stand there. I think he didn't cross any lines. The yellow card doesn't hurt them at all at this point.
Barrett does a great job keeping the ball in here from going off for a throw, plays it back to Macbeth. Macbeth will boot it up to midfield, looking for Ferguson, can't quite get there, but it does stay in play, and FC Buffalo able to press up here a little bit. Great play coming back there by Donaldson. He's been very silent in this game in the most positive of ways, not making any errors or letting anyone in behind him where we've had to call his name. That defensive midfield position being held down there very well by number 21. Walter. He'll take it back there to Trout. Bear trying to make a run in behind Daly, but Daly able to cut him off. Roach. He's going to head it, though. And again, a little bit of miscommunication there on the far side. Not quite sure what's going on over there between Roach and
that's the Commodores' third unforced error so far this half. Just no pressure and booting the ball out for Buffalo to regain possession in their half.
Walter boots it in out the back. Yeah, in the spirit of this weekend's start of the French Open. Erie clogging up their unforced errors category here so far in the second half. Do take a throw here on the far side. We approach now the 63rd minute of play here from Buffalo. Buffalo leads this game 2-0 over the visiting Erie Commodores. Their first two goals of the season scored here today by Macbeth and McGrath in the 2nd and 30th minutes respectively. Erie now trying to find something. The Buffalo defense has done an amazing job here so far in the second half of keeping them outside of the box, really limiting any sort of even clean looks at the keeper from any range. What a smart play there by Ferguson to deflect that ball in midfield. Will be an Erie throw, but with his back turned, sticks out his right leg and forces them to regroup. Roach. And we see what the fresh legs of mention of Ferguson has done here to the defense. What a great ball through there by Daly into the goal area, and a huge save by Johns. Ultimately, the near side official had his flag up. It would have been offsides regardless.
That was a late signal coming in, but it works out to our advantage in this instance.
And Steve Casey, my apologies, who had come in for Johns in the first half, is the goaltender who made an excellent leg save there. A little bit of practice. It's always good to keep your goaltenders fresh.
Yeah, you know, he wants to get the feel of the ball on the body.
Casey will now take a free kick here from just outside his own box, about 15 yards or so away from his goal line. Boots it upfield.
We see Pearson getting taped up on the trainer table over here. Hopefully his substitution wasn't injury related.
He's got to feel a little bit sore, if nothing else, from the way he was running for those first 55 minutes that he played. Both he and Toland, who came off here in the second half, did a great job of forcing the Erie defense to really work for every yard. working for a few yards here now in their offensive half. Lots of contact and tangled up players over there. Camacho, none too happy. Appealing for something, gets nothing, and Erie will get a throw. But Valdez here is going to get a free kick, actually. Just inside of the out of bounds line on the far side, about 20 yards or so out of goal. Camacho, one of the players for me who has really stood out here for FC Buffalo in this game, playing great defensively. Also set up that cross that led to the second FC Buffalo goal on the corner kick. Fed it in beautifully to Ian McGrath, who put it home. We got a sub here for Erie, their first of the game. As that is number 33, that's De Silva coming in now. Free kick booted into the area. Macbeth heads it away. Not quite out of danger yet. Paredes trying to get something. Andrade tips. And a great save. Well read all around there by number 99, the keeper, Steve Casey. A couple different Erie players got a boot on it. And ultimately, he was anticipating where that was going to go. Andrade was the one who made the play across. A number of Erie players were there. I believe it was Daly who got the last touch on it. Ultimately handled there by Casey. That's the first effort at goal here in this half for the Commodores. A little bit of spring in their step and finally cracking through the FC Buffalo defense. Well, they are 2 goals down now in the 66th minute of play. And they have been since that 30th minute goal off the corner from Ian McGrath. Macbeth, the first goal scorer, will throw it in looking for Ferguson. He gets it to him. Ferguson back heel to Barrett. And Barrett going for the ball. Managed to catch a good portion of the Erie player. Unfortunately, not nearly as much of the ball.
It's a call that has to be made, but unfortunately, I'm not sure that our player did anything wrong there. His boot got a little high, but also there was a lean in for the head ball. So, unfortunate call, but a call that needs to be made by the referee.
Yeah, certainly not his intention, but did catch a little bit. Oh, that was Phillips, the defenseman for Erie, who ended up catching that boot up high. He appears to be okay. On the 4th yellow card on FC Buffalo, Erie guilty of only 1. Officially booked in the 67th minute of play. We have another sub here for FC Buffalo. Number 15, Jim Orvis, who's going to come into the game. And he's going to replace number 2, that's David Camacho, playing a quality match here today. All up and down the field. He's got to be exhausted after how he ran to really pick up a little bit of that midfield gap.
Yeah, he could easily be player of the match at this point, even coming out with 25 minutes left in the match.
He would certainly be mine for the first 66 plus minutes of action that he saw. But there's so much of this game still left to write as we approach the 68th minute of play. Could not ask for better weather conditions to play this match in. Booted away from the box there nicely by Walter, another man who's certainly earning some votes amongst our populace for man of the match. Far side Erie regroups, allowing Ferguson to play behind them. He is about 3 yards off sides. That through ball went through everyone. Unfortunately, no Erie player quite on the end of it. Ultimately, Phillips got over there, and all it served to do was kick the ball off for a Buffalo goal kick.
And as the game presses on, I have to wonder at some point if this being Erie's first game has worked out to Buffalo's advantage. They've had 2 other opportunities to kind of come together as a team, and despite Erie's impressive win in the preseason, maybe they're still shaking off a little bit of rust, and this matchup came at exactly the right time.
FC Buffalo, not to cut you off. A numbers advantage for FC Buffalo, and on the far side, it's all 3 of the new legs. That was Orvis who crossed that in, couldn't quite find Barrett. And not just rust amongst the defenders in the back who are a little bit tired, as you mentioned, Eric. Yeah, definitely an advantage to FC Buffalo, it appears to be, from having those 2 games under their belt at this point. Not that those 2 games went exactly as they had hoped, but these are players who have been on the pitch together here and are used to this. Another quick advantage. Erie pressing back the other way, challenging the shoot, and it is in. Erie has found their answer.
They managed to stay on that. They've been trying to get that play most of the day, and they managed to stay on sides for this one.
It's more shoot who's going to get the effort into the net. And here in the 69th minute, the Erie Commodores have finally broken through. It's 2-1. We've seen that run a couple times here from Morshud in this game. That's the first time he's managed to get behind the defense successfully without ever having the ball knocked away or him being guilty of an offsides infraction. So it took almost 70 minutes for them to do it. But Erie is on the board. The last 20 minutes here of this match shaping up to be a good one between these two fierce rivals. And it hasn't just been talk. It's been a lot of action that has shown these two teams not to be very fond of each other. Circling back now. Martinez. Erie now with renewed life. Morshud, the goal scorer, looking through. Can't quite get there. Macbeth will collect. Turning around, gets it as far up the field as he can and goes out for a throw. This is danger time here for FC Buffalo. Erie with the man up and feeling that they can do this, feeling they can tie this game up here at any moment.
I may be wrong, but I don't think Erie has made any substitutions this game. I have to wonder if they're saving them for an end rush in the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, we will see what they do here with these last 20 minutes. The coaching staff being a little bit more patient and maybe seeing what they want to do here. They don't quite have the advantage here. I think FC Buffalo came into the second half knowing what they plan to do substitution-wise, trying to sit on this lead. Erie has no idea here what's going to be more beneficial to them in 10 minutes. That's headed away nicely by Macbeth. Andrade. Bicycle kick over his head to a teammate, Martinez. Seems that's Morshud. Back into the box it goes. And a well-played defensive effort there again by Macbeth. All over the defensive end for Buffalo. Martinez. Near side it goes. Henry trying to keep it in. Loses his footing and the ball goes out of play. And if Erie's unable to find the equalizer, that may be the story of the second half. The unforced turnovers we've seen now starting to climb in number here with each passing moment.
Macbeth has a brief conversation with the ball boy, just making sure maybe it's properly inflated. He doesn't want any scandal here.
Yeah, here in Buffalo, we frown upon such activities. Macbeth to Barrett.
Andrade gets the call for charging a little too hard as the header goes up over his head.
Yeah, away from the ball. Not a smart foul there by Andrade. Do have a sub here coming up for FC Buffalo. It's going to be Paredes who's coming off. Another man who has assuredly worn his legs out here for the first 72 minutes of play. It's going to be replaced by number 13, Regan Steele.
Buffalo doing a great job of managing the clock here. This is textbook, if I do say so myself. And the Commodores are getting in the officials' ear about it a little bit, and I think that's going to work out to our advantage.
Regan Steele, a local college product. I had the pleasure of seeing him play at my alma mater at Canisius for his college career. Macbeth with the free kick. Steele jumping right under that ball. He's going to get there. Looking for a cross. Regan Steele. Can't quite get there. It does remain Buffalo ball, though they'll have a throw on the far side. We are now in the 73rd minute of play. FC Buffalo. Their 2-goal lead has dropped down to 1. Erie's answer in the 68th minute for Morshud. We sit at 2-1. Headed on there by Orvis. Another collision just outside the box, and with a complete disregard from the whistle, both teams continue to play towards midfield. We'll take a second here to regroup. It will be an Erie throw. And some more action. The referee forced to deal with. And it's Macbeth who was the one who grabbed the ball out of
Macbeth is
simulated play.
Macbeth is slow dancing with another yellow card here. You'd be wise to heed the word of the official at this point.
Yeah, FC Buffalo has done a quality job being down a man here for over an hour of play now. But I can't imagine going down to 9 men would be of any sort of benefit. A quality effort. We've seen both teams from over 20 yards here have a good look at goal there. That was Henry for Erie. Made Casey think about it.
A good drive just wide, not a bad idea. Casey playing a little bit off of his line.
Casey will settle in for the goal kick. Take his time to allow his teammates to catch a quick breath before he boots it up to midfield. Headed on by Steele. Barrett looking for Ferguson, didn't quite get there. Roach's ball up ahead, looking for Morshood. Ends up being an Erie throw. Morshood will take it.
And that quick throw thwarted by another substitution for FC Buffalo. They are playing this clock like a Stradivarius violin.
And it is Sam Biles, the Arsenal Academy product, who's going to check in here for FC Buffalo.
Biles on loan from Solent over in London, playing his first match for FC Buffalo. And I bet he's excited to get in on this derby action against one of Buffalo's most heated rivals and show what he can do.
Yeah, Sam Biles, who took time out of his day on Monday to join our good friends Quiz Night in Buffalo for a game of trivia, and also joined a number of Buffalo Arsenal fans who gather at Shenanigans over there for a question and answer session. A number of those fans in attendance here today.
Just undisciplined play in the box that cost the Commodores again. Buffalo's going to get the opportunity to take the ball out, slow the clock down, slow the pace down, eat the clock, and maintain possession of the ball again.
You can begin to sense a little bit of the frustration in the mannerisms of Andrade. He wants to play that kind of aggressive physical style and assert his space. Macbeth has not allowed him to do so, and as this game has gone on, he's getting progressively more and more frustrated. We start to see more of those little touch fouls. He's playing much more undisciplined here than he did early on. Much to the advantage of FC Buffalo. That's a nice play there coming back there by Donaldson. Good bit ahead of Ferguson, but still forces Erie to regroup. Campos. To midfield. Circling back is De Silva, challenged away. Here comes Sam Biles. One-on-one with the keeper. Biles trying to chip him. And Alvarez lucky again. And that effort, that run from Biles, bringing the fans here to life. What speed from the young man.
Biles doesn't take long to make his first impression, and maybe he waited a little too long, allowed Alvarez to get position on him, but that man is going to score some goals for this club, I have a feeling.
Yeah, maybe a little indecisive about what he wanted to do there. Couldn't quite decide if he wanted to try to go around Alvarez or chip him. Ultimately, did not force Alvarez to jump. Another aggressive challenge there on that side of the field by Henry, going right through the back of Reagan Steele.
A little forearm shiver on the 50-50 head ball, and Buffalo's going to get another opportunity at a free kick here.
Ultimately gets off with only a warning from the official. Here comes Biles up the quick play. A little bit too quick. We've seen this now from both teams. Both teams wanting to go ahead of the referee's signal to do so. So we will regroup. Donaldson will try.
The Commodores continue to bark at the official, and this is just working out to Buffalo's advantage as the clock continues to run. And I have a feeling this isn't going on to extra time.
The crowd springing to life here on this free kick from Donaldson. To the outside of the box looking for Barrett. He couldn't quite get there, so that's Ferguson. Andrew Ferguson, number 7. Out of Stony Creek, Canada, our nearest to the north. De Silva for Erie will now collect here defensively. Martinez circles back to himself, finds Roach. Back to De Silva. Booted on with his left foot. Looking over here, near side for Andrade. Has a little bit of room on Macbeth for the first time I feel all game, but Macbeth quickly comes back, closes it down, and knocks it away. What an amazing game we've seen here on both ends here for Johnny Macbeth. Aside from that yellow, his brief moment where he let his emotions get the best of him in this match. Here with a near side throw as we now approach the 79th minute of play. Still 2-1 in favor of FC Buffalo here. Again, we are the 716 Sports Podcast here on 91.3 WBNY here. Happy to join you as we go throughout the rest of the season here for all the FC Buffalo home matches. I'm Jeff Boyd here, joined by Eric Wolschlager.
Andrade forced to send that ball far and wide after Macbeth makes another nice poke and gets Andrade off of his step, unable to clear into any sort of danger.
Now, to borrow a term from another sport, it's like he's hearing footsteps out there. Every time he turns, he expects Macbeth to be there, whether or not he is. That time he wasn't until we forced another unforced turnover. Well, that one might have been a little forced. Headed onwards by Reagan Steele. Just over midfield, but knocked back in by Erie. More should. De Silva on the near side, just crossing back over to his own side of the midfield stripe, back to Roach. Roach to Henry. Henry turns, looking for something to work with. Nicely played again, it's Macbeth. Finding Donaldson, but turns it right back over to Erie. De Silva. Erie's back line starting to creep ever more forward. Sam Biles coming back with a quality defensive play to keep it away. Another high boot catching an Erie player. That time it's Donaldson who got a little bit of an Erie player. Erie pressing onwards. Great play on the far side there by Walter, gets it free. Over to Orvis. Orvis turns and boots it upfield. Doesn't mind that he's missing Ferguson by a good 20 yards. Just wants to force Erie back on their lines a little bit. Alvarez, the keeper, as far away from the box as you can realistically imagine him being. Ball goes out of play. De Silva now on the near side. Looking upfield. Erie again, desperate for the equalizer. That ball gets through everyone. Nice through ball there. Thrown through by Phillips ultimately, though the only person able to get to it is Casey. And the Buffalo keeper will settle it down here. 81st minute of play here at All-High Stadium. FC Buffalo holding on to that 2-1 advantage here as we near the end of the second half. Roach looking ahead. Nice ball up ahead, forcing FC Buffalo to turn and really chase. Reagan Steele's the one who gets back though, and he will knock it out of play for a throw. Smart defensive play. They're not trying to force anything. We do have another sub coming on here, maybe even the first sub, if memory serves here for Erie. It's going to be Sullivan coming on in the game there and trying to get some fresh legs up front of their own. He'll check in for Phillips. Let's see if that's not Phillips, it's number 7. That is Henry coming off, not number 2, Phillips. Macbeth, another quality header. Switching over to play left back here a little bit of late. Biles creeping back there, kind of a right defensive mid.
Commodores are going to be called offside. It was away from the play, but offside nonetheless, and with the ball dangerously close to the net, the official made the decision to give possession back to Buffalo.
It was the Erie goal scorer, Marchute, who was guilty, having some choice words with the official afterwards. Got to be careful. Almost got carded enough for his actions, but rather his words there at the end as he walked away from the play. Casey in no rush to take this kick, but he will do so. Left-footed, nice low drive. Trying to find Ferguson, not quite, but Biles is there. A little bit of miscommunication, excuse me, that's not Biles, that was Orvis, who was the one who booted about 20 yards clear of everyone else. Erie has only found one hole in this Buffalo D here in the second half. They were able to exploit it for a goal. Can they find a second one? Can they find a second quality opportunity at goal? Macbeth again is on the other end of a nice cross there from Erie. And turning around here. Reagan Steele with a good run. He's going to hurt himself a throw it. Great run there by Steele. Buffalo much more liberal with their use of substitutions here in the second half than we've seen Erie be there. Got to feel the front end of this Buffalo team a little bit more fresh. Ferguson. Played back to Donaldson, looking there on the far side for Steele. That's Orvis. Orvis will get there. Crossing is deflected away. Appeal for a handball is unanswered. Don't believe that the Erie player caught that with anything other than maybe a shoulder.
That's the first time that Alvarez has played the ball beyond the mid. He's been one to throw so far in the game, and led to a call for the Commodores. They're going to get a free kick at about 30 yards out.
And the Buffalo bench not too happy with that call. I feel like we've seen more contact than that go unanswered by whistles here so far in the second half, but this time Erie will get this free kick about 35 yards or so out of goal. Every player except for the kick taker is inside of that, driven into the box. Casey reads it well. None too difficult there for Casey. He'll collect with little movement. A lot of motion there in the box, but none of the Erie players ultimately able to get on the end of it. And they'll boot it back upfield there. The one thing we've seen since Casey came into this game, as I mentioned earlier, is that he has been a big difference. What a ball through. Sam Biles on the end of it here for Buffalo. Biles one-on-one, wins the ball, and he can't quite. After
he got around the larger and slightly more muscular opponent, but wasn't able to collect the ball. It's going to end up being a Commodores.
I believe got a Buffalo corner, perhaps.
Oh no, my mistake.
We will see.
He must have played it off the defensive back. Brilliant play by Biles. And
De Silva for Erie, who was the defender who came over to contest it. And Sam Biles gave up a few inches and a few pounds. It was none too perturbed. Almost got a clean shot at goal out of it. Big corner here, the third for FC Buffalo. Swings it, Steele's nearby. Steele gets a head on it, and it's over the bar. Bit of confusion there. It actually hit the.
Somehow that's allowed to play on, even though it hit the upright of the football goalpost.
Yeah, the football goalposts here at All High Stadium that sit behind the goal. I believe Reagan was a little bit confused about the sound it made. A very similar crossbars are crossbars. Regardless, for Erie, nothing comes of it. They're able to collect, and now Buffalo at midfield turns around. Ferguson. Nice ball over there to Orvis. He's got Biles if he wants him. Oh, tried to get it through and couldn't quite. Deflected away for another Buffalo corner, and the Buffalo supporters in the Situation Room pounding their drums. Fourth FC Buffalo corner of the match. They have done well from set pieces here so far. Swinging in far wide. There wasn't any player there over there. What a play there by Steele. Kicks it on to Biles. Deflected off the defense. And the Erie defensive player De Silva able to just keep
with less than 5 minutes left, and for Buffalo to be maintaining possession in the offensive side of the Commodores, this is a very impressive game by the Blitzers here today.
Lovely bit of footwork there by Reagan Steele to earn that chance for Biles. Biles throws into Steele. Steele with a little bit of range, maybe a little bit too adventurous there, blocked away outside the box. We approach now the 87th minute of play. Still 2-1, a great sliding challenge in there. And what a smart play coming back there for the aforementioned Sam Biles. Tracking back in midfield, able to win that ball away. Goes right through to the... He does. What a ball through to Orvis. Orvis chips over, he's got a man! And he couldn't quite get it over. A great defensive effort coming back from Roach.
He cleared that just from the line. And Buffalo came within inches of scoring their third goal of the match and their third goal of the season.
Ferguson just a step shy. Lovely bit of play from Biles and then Orvis to even get that chance. And falling down is Donaldson. Does not prevent him from kicking that ball away. FC Buffalo playing inspired defensive football here in the second half. Agreement with the head official. We approach the 88th minute. Erie trying to find an answer, trying to find an equalizer. The second yellow given to McFadden, really pressing the offense. And we will wait here as we now approach the 89th minute of play for the near side officials. We'll have here as Erie is running out of time to try to find an equalizer. Can FC Buffalo hold on, find that first home win the way they found those first 2 goals of the season here early on in this contest? Looking for Andrade. Back through his play, and almost the full collided with Andrade, not the full. Erie ball. Yard mark here on the near side. Taken by Phillips into the box. Headed away. And Macbeth got up to his feet pretty quickly there. Able to head that one away. The far side chance, and Casey
snags that ball and looks down at the forward for the Commodores sprawled on the ground. From the line judge.
We will see. Erie running out.
Or maybe
of
he was telling us to wait a second.
Either way, chip from the near side official. I'm a fan. Alvarez, well out of his crease. Goal kick from 25 yards out. Erie trying to find their last legs, trying to find an answer. FC Buffalo trying to hold on for a huge home victory against their hated rival. On the far side, tons of room to run. He's going to take as much time as he can. Orvis boots it up ahead. Finds Biles. What a nice chip pass there from Biles to Watson. Watson before it ultimately goes out for an Erie throw. But much to Erie's dismay, that throw deep in their own end. Alvarez wants to do in this match. Far out of his own crease, but now every man now for they do. Still stays out, appeals for handball. Yellow card. It's more should. Even the mark, and the shot goes just wide. Ahead. Can't win that second ball though. Erie. And a late whistle there. As it was Walter who thought he had played that completely cleanly. No such luck. So Alvarez, the key Erie, will go about 30 yards out, and he'll boot it in. Actually, looking for his keeper Alvarez, can't quite get there. Booted deep. If that stays in bounds, it's going to kill some time to Will. Smart play on the near side there by Watson. And we have a final whistle. Everyone to their feet at as FC Buffalo. They have knocked off Erie and earned their first victory of the season here at home by the final score of 2-1.
And picking up an important set of points here.
Yeah, definitely the case there for FC Buffalo. Too early, refusing to rely on a quality defensive effort from everyone who played here today.
It was a smart match. It was an aggressive.
And we look forward with just the positive.
See you out here.